guys, it's your girl T, so it's time for another recap of Love and Hip Hop New York. So last night's episode was crazy as hell. I didn't get to live tweet because I was out running around and everything else. When I got home, I got a chance to sit down and watch. So make sure you guys have your teacups ready and let's go ahead and get this recap popping. How you doing? So in the opening scene, we have Ra Ali. She's meeting up with Rose and Natalia, and basically they're trying to find out what happened at the fashion show. Because as we all know, the fashion show was crazy near the end. Malibu Barbie Lynn and Mrs. Unsexy Lexi, they got into it. So everybody was trying to figure out what happened, why did they get into it. And so Ra Ali's telling them that Unsexy Lexi was upset because she allowed Malibu Barbie to get up there and perform. Ra feels like she had no choice but to let Malibu Barbie perform because, as we all know, BBOD just broke up. And the fact is that Unsexy Lexi doesn't have any singles for herself. All her songs are tied in with BBOD, so that's why she felt the need to have her walk down the runway as opposed to having her perform. So, you know, the women are understanding where Ra's coming from. And then Rose decides to talk about her new man that she's dating. And they're all like, you know what, who's this new guy that's making you smile? You know what I'm saying? What's his name? And she proceeds to tell them that she's not dating DJ Selfish. And I'm sitting there like, hold up, bitch, how the hell are you dating him? If anything, you threw yourself on him, you jumped in his lap and you kissed him. I didn't know that throwing yourself on somebody equates you dating them. You know, so I just found this whole situation just crazy as hell. Moving on to the next scene. So the next scene, we have our favorite couple, honey, Remy Ma and Papoose. And they're going out shopping for wedding cakes. They're tasting the cakes and everything else. And Papoose is telling Remy Ma that he wants to really meet with her and talk to her about the guest list. So Remy Ma's kind of in her feelings. She's feeling some type of way because she feels like she does not want to be bothered with the guest list right now. And there's a lot of people who were not there for her while she was locked up that she doesn't really want to invite them to her wedding. But Papoose is saying that she needs to look at the bigger picture and realize at the end of the day, they're all family and that Remy Ma needs to, you know, basically build a bridge and get over and talk to these people as opposed to holding on to all this animosity. We then find out that Remy Ma is really upset because she feels like her mom, her sister, and Papoose's mom all abandoned her while she was locked up. She then starts breaking down, crying, you know, and I feel bad for her. But at the end of the day, she needs to realize that sometimes when you do time, you do it by yourself, and even some of the people who are the most closest to you tend to fade away. So Papoose is trying to reassure her that he's always going to be there for her and that he wants this wedding to be special. He wants it to be her day, but that he also wants the family to be there, and he promises to make everything right. Remy Ma really, really lucked up getting with this guy. Moving on to the next scene. So the next scene, we have Miss No Money and Yandy. And Yandy is super gassed up, honey. She's like, you know what? She got Miss Mo Money on her team. She wants her to hear this new track, this new beat, and she wants to know what Mo Money can do with this beat. She basically wants No Money to create a buzz and everything else because she feels like Bianca's not taking it seriously and that Bianca's not doing what she has to do. So Miss No Money basically promises Yandy that she's gonna kill the beat. She's gonna come up with a hot track. Then Yandy asks her to basically perform at Gwenfest again. Once again, there goes that ugly ass word, Gwenfest, Gwen, and I cannot stand that damn word. But Yandy, DJ Self, and Cardi B are determined to make this word stick, okay? Anyways, Miss No Money feels like she does not want to perform at Gwenfest. She feels like she's way above Young B and she's way above Malibu Barbie. But Yandy's telling Miss No Money that basically everybody's saying that Young B was the one who won that battle and that Miss No Money needs to really, really redeem herself. So once Miss No Money hears that people are thinking that Young B won, she finally agrees with Yandy. She then agrees to allow Yandy to submit her into Gwenfest. Moving on to the next. So the next thing we have Amina Caterpillar, y'all. And this scene irritated the hell out of me. First of all, her hat irritated me. Okay, let's go there. That hat looked tacky as hell, but she did look beautiful in the face. Her music is on point. This girl can really play. She has a beautiful voice. So while she's singing and talking about how sad she is that she terminated her pregnancy, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's feeling sad for her because all this sad ass music is playing. All of a sudden, Dirty Feet Pete walks in out of nowhere, and he walks over to Amina, and he kisses her on the forehead, and Amina's admitting in her confessional that basically they're back together. You know, she's like, you know, through all this pain and all this torture and turmoil, I never thought that Peter would come back. I never thought I would have the husband that I so desperately wanted. And I'm sitting there looking at her like, bitch, are you for real? So you mean to tell me that you basically killed your baby in vain? You were supposed to have an abortion and use that abortion as a way to get away from Peter and cut any ties with Peter and make it where you only had one tie with Peter as opposed to two. But now you're basically telling the audience that this abortion was in vain because now that you're back with Peter and that Peter's been doing good for a few weeks and you guys are back in love. I said last week that I bet you anything that they were making up and that Peter and her had makeup sex, okay? You know, Amina's just breaking down, crying in his arms, and he's kissing on her. And you know damn well these two nasty-ass, fake-ass lovebirds ended up having sex after the damn cameras left. You know, I can't with this entire storyline, okay? Folks said that I was reaching. Folks were saying Amina was done with Peter. And now this week we have proof that Peter and Amina are back together. It's like this girl is just stupid as hell. I don't understand why she feels like she needs to be with the guy who has absolutely no respect for her. Amina needs to get some self-esteem about herself, take her daughter, and bounce back to Germany before she winds up knocked up by Dirty Feet Pete once again. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Unsexy Lexi, and she's meeting up with Miss No Money. And you can tell that Unsexy Lexi's in her feelings. She's still really mad about what went down at the fashion show. Miss No Money walks in there with a big ass grin on her face. She's super happy. So, you know, Unsexy Lexi's asking, you know, how has she been? And Miss No Money's like, you know what, I'm still kind of feeling some type of way about you allowing Raw Ali to basically destroy our group. But being that I've known you for 20 plus years, you'll always be my sister, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I am feeling some type of way about how everything went down. And Lexi is saying that, you know, basically she's sorry she feels that way, but she feels like Mo was not taking the group seriously and that Mo was acting up too much. And that's why she kind of fell back from everything. So then Miss No Money proceeds to tell Unsexy Lexi that basically she booked Gwen Fest. She's been in the studio recording tracks. Yandy's her new manager. Yandy's looking out for her. And so Unsexy Lexi doesn't really have any news to tell Miss No Money, and she's feeling some type of way. So now she tells Miss No Money, well, that's good that you're in Gwen Fest. We're definitely going to kill it. Now Miss No Money's looking at Unsexy Lexi like, no, bitch. Ain't no team, Bia. You know what I mean? Ain't no team. You went about your way. You didn't want us to be together. So why would you think we're going to work together at Gwen Fest? So now Lexi's feeling some type of way, and in her confessional, she's sitting there like, well, you know what? I really thought, even though we're not going to be together, I thought that we could go on stage one last time and try and wreck shop against Mariah Lynn and Young B. And I'm like, how are you in your feelings when you decide to leave the group? You were upset. You can't just come in and out of a group as you please. You decide to get rid of the group. You know what I'm saying? Miss No Money finally agreed. You can't get mad. This is a situation that you chose for yourself. Now Miss No Money's in her confessional just straight popping off. She's saying, you know what? Best believe that Miss Mo Dollar Sign is rolling solo. And I'm sitting here like, girl, calm the hell down. Y'all's only been broke up for 2 weeks. Stop acting like now that you're solo, your music is all over the radio. I'm gonna need her to bring it down a notch. But you can tell that Unsexy Lexi is definitely feeling some type of way. Mo ends up telling Lexi that she has to go because she has music to make at the studio, and she ends up leaving her with egg on her face. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next one, we have Cardi B, and she's doing white people activities. She decided to invite Mariah Lynn, aka Malibu Barbie, and Young B to take these glass blowing classes with her. You know, this girl is such a mess. She just has me cracking up. Then she goes in her confessional. She's like, why is it that every time I link up with Bianca, she got the same hairstyle as me? We look like two sisters with two different fathers. When I tell y'all, Cardi B is a straight up mess. This girl is a fool. She has no chill whatsoever. So anyways, Bianca's talking about Gwen Fest, and Mariah Lynn is letting them know what went down at the fashion show and how her and Unsexy Lexi got into it. And once again, Mariah Lynn is being super hood, super ghetto. This girl is a trip. So as she's talking about Unsexy Lexi, she's like, if you just go and bark and not bite, then stay your ass in the doghouse and put a muzzle on that bitch, because I'm not the one. And I'm sitting here like, girl, calm the fuck down. Like, she wants to be so hood, so bad. And then she comes out talking about she's Puerto Rican. She's not your average white girl. She's white and Puerto Rican. When I look at Mariah Lynn, I see a white girl, point blank, period. It's no different than dark-skinned girls claiming to have everything in them but black.
So you guys ready for Black History Month?
Hell yeah, I can't wait, man.
I'll celebrate that. I'm not black. So what are you?
I'm 25% Cherokee Indian, I'm 20% West Indian, I'm 18% Dominican, I'm 13% Mexican, I'm 10% Irish, I'm 7% Cambodian, 5% Pakistani, and 2% Black.
Girl, sit your black ass down.
And that's the same thing Mariah Lynn is doing. This girl clearly looks like a white girl. She has blonde hair and blue eyes, but all of a sudden she wants to claim Puerto Rican because she feels like that's going to give her more of an appeal with minority people. To me, she just comes off as a ghetto-ass white girl. Nothing more, nothing less. After Mariah Lynn goes off on her rant, Young B decides to invite Cardi B and Mariah Lynn to come to the studio. She wants them to hear the tracks that she's been working on. So Cardi B's like, as long as it's not on the weekend, I'ma be there. Best believe I'ma be there. So Mariah Lynn's like, you know what? She's down to go as well. So then Cardi B's like, you know what? I need to be excused. I need to go use the bathroom because I just farted. And I'm like, Cardi B is such a mess. She had me cracking up during this whole spiel. Her ass is crazy as hell. Moving on to the next scene. So the next thing we have Unsexy Lexi, and she's meeting up with Ra Ali. And Unsexy Lexi still has an attitude about everything that went down at this fashion show. I'm so tired of hearing about this damn fashion show. So Ra Ali's there basically to apologize to her. And Sexy Lexi tells Ra Ali that basically, you know what, Miss Mo Money's working with Yandy now. She's in the studio. She's getting tracks. I need you to step your game up because I've always spoke highly of you. I've always, you know, been happy because I felt like you were really doing something for us. I need you to like really, really help me out and make my career pop. So Ra Ali says that she has something special for her, but in her confessional, she goes off. She's like, first of all, if Mo Money wants to go ahead and meet other people, she can go do that, but I don't need her telling me what the hell Yandy and Monisha are doing together. I don't want to hear none of that. When she called Miss No Money Monisha, I felt the hell out. I'm like, okay, so now we're saying people's government names? It's obvious that Ra Ali's in her feelings because Yandy's a better manager than she will ever be. Ra Ali claims that she's gonna not only talk to DJ Selfish, that she has a special surprise for Miss Lexi, and that basically Miss Lexi just needs to put her faith and her trust in her. She's gonna end up coming through for her. So Miss Lexi says, you know what, she'll give Ra Ali one more chance. Ra Ali then asks for a kiss on the cheek, and Lexi just sits there staring at her like, bitch, you got me all the way fucked up. Moving on to the next scene. The next thing we have Broke Pennies, and he's meeting up with Papoose and DJ Selfish. And basically Broke Penny says that his life has been turned upside down ever since his baby's mother, Miracle, came and got Ashley. Now, you know, he doesn't know what to do with himself, but he's decided to have a guy's night out with his boys. And so they're all sitting around talking, and basically DJ Selfish is talking about everything that went down on the radio. Papoose and Broke Pennies are saying that they heard him talking about Yerma. And DJ Selfish is now saying that he feels like once again he's basically tied between two women because Rose is coming at him real hard. He doesn't know what to do. And Rich Dowls is sitting here trying to give him advice and saying, you know what, if you really like Yerma and you want to be with her and you really love her, then you need to make that effort and be faithful to her. You can't be running around with all these chicks. So now I'm sitting there looking like, what? Is Broke Pennies sitting here preaching and telling the truth? It's funny because it's definitely the pot calling the kettle black. But, you know, to me, it just doesn't make no sense why these grown men pride themselves on this fuckboy behavior. I don't understand why DJ Selfish, you know what I'm saying, Broke Pennies, you know, the whole Creep Squad situation, Peter Guns, Creepo. I don't understand why they all pride themselves on how many women they can smash, how many women they can get with, get pregnant. It makes no sense that you have these grown men out here acting like some young little boys. It's like they have no respect for themselves. They have no respect for their private parts. They have no respect for the women that they're smashing. And then you have a lot of these women out here who have really, really low self-esteem. I don't understand why some of these men would choose to be in a monogamous relationship, knowing that they're not faithful, knowing that they don't want to be faithful. It's like, if you want to talk to different women and be a player, then just be single. Why get into a relationship? Why get married? It just makes no sense whatsoever. And that's what I really respect about Papoose, because he really loves Remy Ma and he really holds her down. I just don't have any respect for DJ Selfish and a lot of these guys on this show, because they go out their way to just, you know, perpetuate that black man can't be faithful. And then you have a lot of these women who are okay with being the side chicks. They're okay with dealing with these guys. You know, just makes no sense whatsoever. Moving on to the next scene. So the next thing we have Unsexy Lexi. So now she's going to the studio to meet up with Ra Ali. She gets there. In the studio is none other than French Montana. So she's super happy, super boosted that Ra came through for her. Now Unsexy Lexi starts rapping for them, and I have to admit she did a really good job. I was just really surprised at how well she was rapping, her flow, the stuff that she was saying. Like, it was hot. Even French Montana was feeling it. So Ra Ali asked French Montana if he's willing to jump on the track, and he's like, you know what, nah, that's a bit too sexy for me. So Ra's like, well, okay, well, fine, will you take the track with you? You know, could you at least possibly work with her? And French Montana said that he loves the way that Lexi's spitting, and that, you know, he's going to take the track home, you know, let it marinate, and maybe even look at some of her other catalogs and look at some of her other songs. So, you know, he's definitely willing to work with her. So now she's super boosted and super happy, and it seems like Ra's finally coming through for Unsexy Lexi. Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Peter, and he's going to go see Tara. And basically Tara's there, and she's ready to tell Peter, you know, everything that she's been holding in for the past damn 5 months, okay? So Peter comes in and stares dead at Tara's stomach because this bullshit is scripted. And Tara decides to drop the bomb on Peter by telling Peter that she's pregnant and that she's so far along that there's really nothing she can do because she's 18 weeks. And I'm saying, like, you know what? Tara's such a miserable ass female. She basically got pregnant on purpose, and she knew this. And the crazy part is she thought that this little keep a nigga baby, because that's what it is. It's a keep a nigga baby. She thought she could could get pregnant, and then her nigga, Dirty Feet Pete, would come back to her. But she literally got egg on her face when Peter told her, you know what, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what I'm gonna tell Amina. You know, poor Amina. Amina just had an abortion. Peter is literally distraught, thinking about how this is going to hurt Amina, and you can just see how pissed off Tara is. And she's like, you know what? You're over here talking about Amina. I just told you that we're pregnant and that I'm having your baby, and your only response is how Amina feels. How do I feel? How do you think I feel about this situation, Peter? You need to take responsibility for this. You made your bed, now you need to lie in it. And I'm like, if Tara don't have a damn tall glass, to shut the fuck up. I hate hearing this woman talk. She just irks the hell out of me. I love how she's trying to blame everything on Peter and act like she just doesn't know, and act like she had nothing to do with getting pregnant. At the end of the day, she knew that she was having sex with this man. She was having unprotected sex. And when you have unprotected sex with somebody, there's a possibility of getting pregnant. So I definitely feel like Tara did this on purpose. Peter as well, he knew what he was doing. He's not innocent in any of this. But for Tara to try and put the blame solely on him and tell him that he needs to step up and take responsibility, she needs to have a tall glass to shut the fuck up. And that's why her dumb ass is having another boy. Because you knew that she wanted to have another girl, so that way she could have one up on Amina, and that's why her ass is having another boy. Tara is so full of shit, and she's so fake. Granted, Amina is stupid as hell, and she's, you know, stupid and lost in love with Peter, but Amina got with Peter thinking that Peter was single. She did not know that Peter was in this long-term relationship, and instead of Tara walking away and realizing that Peter does not love her, and Peter is obviously in love with Amina, she keeps trying to find ways to bring herself back into the situation with Peter. And now this baby's being used as the newest pawn in her scheme. And I just find it really sad that these people are using babies and abortions to basically keep this man. It just makes no sense whatsoever. I'm gonna need Tara's dumbass to own her shit for one. Bitch, you made your pissy ass mattress. Now you need to lie in that pissy bitch, okay? Moving on to the next scene. So in the next scene, we have Papoose, and Papoose is taking Remy Ma to go meet up with his mother. I definitely love Mama Irene. She kept it all the way real with Remy Ma. You know, Remy felt like she had an issue with Irene because she felt like, one, Irene never came to see her the whole time she was locked up. And then that she had gotten a letter basically from Irene saying that she needs to kind of let, you know, Papoose go a little bit and let him do his thing because he's so wrapped up in Remy and he's letting all his responsibilities go by the wayside. And so Papoose admits that at that time he was so depressed that he lost his wife to the system, that he let his career go. He wasn't doing what he needed to do with his family. He was so focused on Remy. Now, I kind of feel like, in a way, Papoose was almost starstruck over Remy. You know, while it's cool that he held her down, while it's good that he was there for her, the fact that he let his responsibility with his family, possibly with his kids, and his career fall by the wayside, I feel like he did this because he was more or less starstruck with her. You know, I don't know if he would have done the same thing if Remy Ma wasn't famous. I kind of question that a bit. Like, if Remy Ma wasn't who she was, would he have held her down in the same way? You know, and I understand that Remy Ma is very appreciative of what he did, but it's obvious it kind of caused a strain in the family. And Remy also needs to realize, you know, like the mother says, everybody's not going to come see you in jail. You know, jail's not a fun place to be. A lot of people don't want their names being ran. A lot of folks don't want to be bothered with that. You know, you're lucky if you can get a letter, but a lot of folks are not going to come see people in prison. They're just not going to do it. You know, so sometimes when people are on the other side of the prison system, they forget that the folks on the outside still have to live their life. And a lot of folks are just not comfortable writing people in jail, and they're just not comfortable going to go see them. You know, that's why the old saying goes, if you really care about me, you'll do what you need to do and stay out of jail. You know what I'm saying? So she really can't get upset that her mother-in-law was not coming out there to come see her like that, because that's not everybody's cup of tea. But she needs to realize at the end of the day that her mother-in-law does love her and does support their union. And I think that Papoose has a really cool mom, and she's definitely raised her son to really, really cherish his woman and be there for his woman. But again, sometimes I have to question if he was really in love with her because of her status and who she was at the time, and if he would have done the same thing for a regular chick. Moving on to the next scene. So in the last and final scene, we have Miss No Money, and she's in the studio, and literally this girl is killing it. Why is it that BBOD, Busted Bitches on Decline, they sound literally better apart than together? Miss No Money did her thing in the booth, just like Unsexy Lexi did her thing for French Montana. So I think it's a lot better that both of them go solo and do their own thing. So while she's sitting there rapping, you know, Yandy comes in, and she's talking about she caught the tail end of the rap, and Miss No Money's like, oh, let me rap it to you. You gonna like it because I put you in the trap. Then she starts rapping to Yandy, and she's saying, my men in DC call me Yandy. And Yandy's acting like she doesn't get it, even though Yandy went to Howard University in D.C. and her man is named Mendices. It's like, why does she have to keep explaining it? I don't understand how that went so above Yandy's head. I'm like, girl, bye. You understand what the hell she's trying to get at. You know what I mean? So while they're rapping and they're listening to the track, all of a sudden, Young B and Cardi B rock in. So they walk in looking like some bootleg-ass Bobsey twins, okay, once again. And so now Young B is hot. She's pissed off because, as we all know, Miss No Money's her nemesis. And she's feeling like, okay, well, damn, what the hell's going on up in here? Why is she rapping to my track? And Yandy, why are you working with her? And Yandy's only response to Young B is, do you pay my bills? Don't tell me who I can work with and what I can do. So Young B's upset right now. So now they're going back and forth. And Miss No Money's like, you know what, Young B, don't embarrass yourself again. And Young B's like, how did I ever embarrass myself, bitch? I whooped your ass. You ain't never embarrassed me. Now they're going back and forth. And Cardi B's like, you know what, y'all need to calm down. I'm tired of this shit. Why are they arguing? You know, Cardi B's trying to play peacemaker, but she forgets just a few weeks ago she was dragging Yorma all over the club, okay? Don't act brand new, Cardi B. So now they're still going back and forth. Young B saying, you know what, you need to have some songs on the radio. You ain't got no music out, you whack, you garbage. And Miss No Money's like, you know what, where's your music at? Is your music on the radio? And Young B's like, yeah, it is on the radio. Now I'm saying, looking at this bitch, in the words of T.I., where they at though?
Where they at though?
I ain't heard no Young B music on the radio, period, okay? The only music that I've heard that's been on the radio is Mariah Lynn. I have not heard nothing from Young B or Miss No Money, so they both need to have several damn seats, okay? But real talk, though, I feel like Yandy needs an etiquette class. I feel like Yandy did all this on purpose just to stir up some drama. Why would you book both their sessions around the same time, especially when you know that neither one of them get along? And for me, it's not so much about paying your bills. She should have been honest with Bianca as far as letting her know that she would also be working with Miss No Money. I mean, she doesn't have to explain herself, but she could at least give her the heads up to let her know that she was not going to deal with any fuckery in the studio and that they need to try and get along, you know, being that they're going to be all under the same umbrella. So I felt like Yandy was being kind of messy in this situation, but Young B needs to watch her temper because all it's doing is making her look bad with her throwing water and wanting to fight all the time. It just makes me not want to support her either because every time we turn around, Young B's forgetting everything that she learned in her so-called etiquette class, and then she's turning around and acting super ratchet as hell. So anyways, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on this week's episode of Love and Hip Hop New York. What do you guys think about Young B going off on Miss No Money in the studio? How do you guys feel about the whole Papoose and Remy Ma situation? And then also, do you feel like Busted Bitches on Decline sound a lot better solo than rather as a group? So let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. Go ahead and leave a comment. All right, deuces. Hey you guys, it's your girl T. Make sure to subscribe, like, and share my videos. You can also visit Lovelyti.com to purchase any merchandise. Also, don't forget to click the boxes down below to watch any of my previous videos. Talk to y'all later. Deuces.